Hello, you dirty DJs, and welcome to the channel. This weekend, we got requested to do some pixel art. A buddy of mine is making a fighting game, similar to SNK versus Capcom. I think it's like a pocket fighter game. The sprites were really small and chibi, and I was kind of excited to try it out. So, I wanted to start by grabbing the actual sprites and get size comparisons and kind of trace the heads and see how I feel. Um, he's going for a pirate themed game, and his game design document asks for two characters, one being similar to Captain Morgan, and he was a more stockier character. You can see here I took Zangief's head and drew like a Captain Morgan goatee and mustache on. Here you see me I'm struggling with getting the right hat, and eventually I decide to abandon it and just do his bandana. We move on to the hat later on. Here I'm fleshing out the kind of stance that I want. He fights with a saber, so I wanted to get like a fencing pose. After I get a good rough draft um, of the basic idea of how I want to draw his stance or his pose, I take the sprite over to its own separate area and give it a new layer and start drawing out the body. I use different colors to represent different areas of the body. So you see here I got the red for the torso, and I'll use blue to shape out the legs. And this is just simple, rough. I'm just trying to get what's in my head out on paper. I highly suggest if you're new to pixel art to try doing this, especially if you're doing character design. I actually stole the way to do this from another YouTube pixel artist. I'll leave his link right now. I forgot his name. So right here, I'm taking the arm and I'm trying to give him like a fencing pose with his hand in the air, and then I'll have this one, his left arm holding the saber, and it's kind of tucked in like he's ready to poke or stab. And this will, I guess, it doesn't really limit his attacks. We haven't made up any move sets yet, but I definitely think the way this character is going to move is going to be interesting, and I'm excited to see a big character flip around and do more fencing moves. Usually big stocky characters are slow and heavy like, and we kind of flip this one upside down. The other character that I draw is a female. It's a female pirate. Most of these characters are actually based on actual people. This is based on Captain Morgan. The other one's based on a pirate called Reed. I forgot what it was, but my buddy he said that it was based on an actual female pirate, and she used to wear really baggy clothes in order to uh, I guess blend in with the pirates, because obviously women weren't you know very welcome in the 1600s. So here I'm fleshing out a little bit more detail with the saber. We got the handguard in, added a little bit more detail with the boots. I started drawing the hair. He has long, shoulder length curly black hair, and I wanted it to come out of the bandana. I played around with a little bit, but I think after I add the hat is whenever I finally get the hair to look the way I wanted it. Here I just couldn't get it to come out right, and the shade of brown that I was using I didn't really like. Here we start moving on to the line art, and I just keep it fairly simple. The SNK Pocket game, or the SNK versus Capcom Pocket game, does all black outline and a very limited color palette. I believe these games are like on the Game Boy and mobile consoles, but they use a really limited color palette for each character. But we started off blocking everything out, and I start adding a little bit more details, such as his rash guard or his belt around the torso, and then his belt in the around his waist. We also started adding in his coat, his overcoat, and I really wanted this character, whenever he's moving about, to have his coat and his cape or whatever to kind of, I guess, flap whenever he's moving. So let's say he juts forward or slashes in a way. I really want these coattails to move around. We were going here for like an ascot, but I decided against it, and I wanted it to hide underneath his chin, and you'll see it later on when we animate it. Here we work in the sleeves, and start adding some shading and some colors to get the character to look more like Captain Morgan. Now we start adding in the detail on the saber. Swords are always interesting to draw. I'm always excited to draw some type of weapon. I always find it a challenge, especially doing diagonal things. Because obviously pixel art, you have to work around your limitations of how small you can get things. Then we started working on the hand, and the hand was, I'm not good at drawing hands. At first, the hand just looked like total shite. We kept playing around with different positions, and I kept thinking of how I can get this hand to look pretty decent. And I gotta say, honestly, for what it came out as, I'm very happy with the results, and I'll definitely remember how to do this kind of hand position in the future. After the hand, we started working in some more detail. I was thinking about adding a cape, the signature blue cape that Captain Morgan has, but I think I've decided against it. It might have been too much on the screen. If the game design document calls for it, we'll add it back in. Now we started fleshing in the hat. I really wanted that pointy piracy hat, and I think it came out pretty good. After we got the hat in, we were able to start doing the hair as well. We started adding cufflinks to the wrist, or making the, I guess the end of the sleeves bulkier, so it kind of looks like it's folded over. Now we started animating. I just wanted a quick idle animation, something that, you know, just moving him up and down, and then as he's moving up and down, we'll have the saber in the hand, and in the head, kind of in the coattails, move up and down with it, and also leave like a lag behind. So you can see here, I'm taking the sword, and I'm just moving it up slightly, so it kind of gives like a bobbing effect. Because if you move everything up and down at the same time, it kind of looks shitty, and it's not. It doesn't have a fluid movement. Everything looks rigid. It's not good. But what we came up with, I think it came out pretty good, and I'm actually pretty proud of this. I haven't drawn any pixel art like this in a while, and I'm super proud of it, and I can't wait to continue drawing characters in different positions, and coming up with the moveset for this fighting game. By the way, you can check out Mr. Behavior's YouTube channel. He's the one making a game. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below, and you can check out his Twitch channel too. I'll leave it there. Otherwise, that's it for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.